Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, Branden Nixon and myself will be carving a wild olive for all of you, as well as putting some lime sulfur on it. So I thought, yeah, it'd be cool to do this tree with Branden because I actually acquired this tree from him. But yeah, so now we're gonna do a bit of work on it, which is gonna be pretty exciting. And we're going to see, I'm excited to see also how Branden works and how we work together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, let's get started. So first we'll start with the chainsaw bit, and then try and put more grooves into the deadwood, give it some feature, and just clean up where it needs to be cleaned up.
Awesome. Cool.
So I'll just carry on this side here. It is quite a messy process. Try and use glasses or...
Yeah, let me actually get my glasses.
So you don't really want to be carving any holes where the water can sit and actually cause rot in the tree. You would like it to run off quite nicely, but you also want that depth to get that natural feel in the deadwood. So we'll just go through a lot of this and just refine it a bit more, and then just go through it with the wire brush. You can see you've got a lot of the natural flaking here that's coming through, which is nice. Once we go through that with the wire brush, it should clean up quite nicely, and this make it look natural as possible. Something you don't really want to rush, and do it properly. And you generally want to go with the grain and try and make it look as natural as possible. You can see where the live vein is now, and then we'll try and just neaten that up and just get it so that it runs nice and straight.
So you can normally tell by the live vein by the color. You can see that it changes color there. It's a lot more green. So you can see all of this that he's carving is completely dead. You don't want to just do this to the live vein of the tree,
because we want this live vein to run onto the deadwood so that it shapes nicely and rounds off nicely onto the deadwood. So I'll do this probably every 2 to 3 years, depending on the condition of the deadwood. Sometimes if your deadwood is sitting on the ground or meeting with the soil, it tends to rot a lot faster, so you would have to basically treat this a lot more frequently to prevent the rot. So yeah, it all depends on the material that you're using and how often you would have to apply it. Privets, they also, and firethorns, their deadwood's very soft and rots really easy, so you would tend to be treating those a lot more frequently.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are also going to ask you about what do you use when carving?
Well, I was quite fortunate enough to get that from Kathy
Okay.
back in the day.
Okay.
I know her husband Rob, he made those. And yeah, I've just been able to maintain it and keep it. I'm looking at making something like that.
I'll do another close-up, but that's kind of what
it's a magic tool. It really does.
Yeah, that's
work
easy.
wonders,
Yeah, because using a little Dremel, the small Dremel things just never works, especially for olives. Because I mean, the wood is so hard. It's just like never going to work.
Most definitely.
Coming in deep into here, and I quite like this.
Yeah, maybe even
that.
You can clean away. Yes, I'm
Get
this a little bit more. And then there's a print. So we change over to a wire brush, and we're just now going to slowly work the deadwood, clean it up nicely, and prep it for lime sulphur.
Very cool.
The difference it makes in the grain.
Yeah, that's nice.
So we don't need any of this.
Yeah.
It does help if you're trying to do root development. It is nice to let your tree just grow out.
Yeah, I mean, I always do that. I just let my trees grow.
The difference now, once we lime sulphur that will seal itself nicely. Let's just get this section here all nicely cleaned up.
So again, now just cutting down all these long branches to 2.
So we're just wiring this branch into place. I've had to double up on the wire. Unfortunately, I don't have the right size gauge, but we make a plan here in Africa.
Yeah, a boer maak 'n plan.
Yeah, the tree's come a long way from where it was, and it's just going to get better over time.
Yeah, so this is going to be a nice back branch for the tree.
This branch is thickened up quite nicely, yeah?
Yeah, that's why I thought just letting it grow. Let it really grow nicely.
Don't rush the bends. You don't want any cracking or splitting.
Yeah, I was going to say, this isn't your tree, eh?
And if you want to, you can just get a guide wire and you can put a guide wire
I'll
down
pop
here
that on at home.
just to help it in place. You can already see it's starting to develop and take shape quite nicely.
And obviously for those, starting out and stuff, that branch is going to be cut back. But we want it to grow out, to thicken up.
Olives are really hardy and they grow pretty much right through the winter. So yeah, you can do quite a bit of pruning this time of the year. Okay, shall we get the tree cleaned up and then put some lime sulfur down? So we've cleaned up the deadwood, given the tree a rinse, and now we're going to just put its lime sulfur on and seal it so it's protected. And yeah, let's go from there. Eh? So I'm just putting a paper towel there, so if the lime sulfur runs, you don't have these run marks in your pot, and it just doesn't look very pleasant. You don't really want to let this stuff drip on your pot. It will stain it, and yeah, you don't really want to get it on yourself as it does smell. See how it runs like that? So you don't really want to rush it. I'm going to take it nice and slow. Make sure all the deadwood's been applied. You don't really want this to run on your bark. It just makes the bark look untidy. And then you have to get a wire brush and clean it off with a wire brush. So yeah, don't rush it. Take your time and the better it will come out.
It's probably the most satisfying thing to watch when someone lime sulfurs a tree, and then how it changes color.
When lime sulfuring, what I do is I just have a spray bottle at hand and tend to just keep it damp so it doesn't dry too fast, and it tends to whiten a lot better and, how can I say, make a better effect. Now the stuff runs pretty easy. You just want to make sure you get everything evenly. See how it runs down. Even after you wire brush and it doesn't look like it's running, it will still eventually drip. So you just use the paper towel to just help absorb most of the lime sulfur. If you have to, you can take a wire brush and just wire brush it and it'll come off.
Sweet. Well, I've certainly learned something. I hope you guys all have. Thanks again. You're a really awesome guy for doing this for everyone. And I'm sure we're going to do lots more videos together. And yeah, I'm still keen to see how you work on those junipers, getting that live vein through on the tree, and, your sharis and your germs and stuff. But yeah, thank you.
Yes, awesome. Only a pleasure.
So I'm finally back home after carving this olive with Branden. So you can see that the the deadwood has completely turned white, so that's obviously from the lime sulphur, and it really is so appealing to the eye when it goes this beautiful white color. So please reach out and comment if you like me collaborating with these bonsai artists, and if you would like to see more videos like this. I hope you guys all have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.